So, Lindsay, how about if you could camp inside and not have to worry about the weather, not have to worry about like making sure you had all the supplies? Wouldn't that be fun to just glamp indoors?
Only if it's in a vintage trailer. Do you know of a place?
I think I do.
I do.
Yeah, Sterling does. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to tell you how to glamp indoors. I'm so excited.
Welcome to the RV Small Talk podcast, where we talk about lightweight travel trailers, truck campers, and the people, places, and adventures that go along with them. We're your hosts from Princess Craft RV. I'm not Clint. I'm Lindsay.
And we miss Clint because he can rattle through that so good.
I know. I was trying to do it like Clint. I failed.
Well, that's okay.
But who are you?
I'm PJ. and Clint is here, but he's not chatting with us because our microphones are all full.
He's hiding behind the camera making funny faces at us. But we're really excited today. We have Sterling and Kaci, who have a really, really cool business. It is called Lone Star Glamp Inn. Did I get that right?
You did?
Yes.
Okay. So.
And Glamp Inn is INN. It is an inn. It is a hotel,
Yes.
motel,
Yes.
indoors,
Yes.
with vintage trailers.
Yes.
I mean,
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
yay.
Which, okay, when somebody tells you that, I know when PJ first told me about it, I had this kind of picture in my head of what it would look like. And then we went there. Whoa. I mean, it's not just like a trailer sitting there that you get to camp in. It is a whole experience, there's lights hanging everywhere. There's different fabrics. It's just a really cool idea. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And
And then we found out they're in Round Rock, just like we are.
yeah.
They live right here.
Is it okay to say that we
Yeah.
found that out while y'all were sitting at our bar?
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
we?
okay.
Because we were sitting there
Yeah.
visiting
Yeah.
and having a couple of drinks, and
Yeah.
we're like, wow, what a
Yeah.
small world.
We're
And that's
close.
the other piece. When you walk in the front door, it's actually a bar. And then you go to the back to camp.
Yeah.
So perfectly
Okay.
fine. Are you
Yes.
kidding? It's
Yes.
Princess Craft. Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get too far into this, I think my first question is, what the hell were you thinking? Like, where did this come
what?
from?
Yeah.
So
What?
we jokingly say we don't know if we're pioneers or idiots, because it's such
Pie and idiots.
Yeah, we need to get some shirts made.
We could make a new word.
Yeah. So we start on my uncle built the buildings. It was an old car museum, and right in the heart of Warrenton, and the antique shows and all that kind of stuff.
Well, who builds a car museum in Warrenton, Texas?
Yeah, a guy
I mean, Warrenton is kind of nowheresville.
Yeah. He just loved restoring old cars and had the financial means to do it and put a big building up to keep them in there.
He had to put them somewhere, right?
Right. And
Okay,
he'd
how
rotate
many-
them and stuff.
Rotate them? This is a big building.
He had, I don't know how many cars, but
Like, are we talking
guesstimate-
10? Are we
No,
talking
no.
50?
Probably 50, 30 to 50.
Probably,
100,
yeah.
you think? Okay. well,
100?
A bunch. I mean,
He's rotating them?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is some of the coolest cars that he had? Let's just start
He
there.
had a Duesenberg. I don't know what year, but I think they were in the 40s or something.
know.
It was after
Duesenberg?
the
A
Great
Duesenberg.
Depression. Or no, they built a lot of these, and then the Great Depression hit. It was some upscale car, but that no one could afford, and so they only made a few of them. But he had one that actually, when he sold it, Jay Leno called in when they were at the auction bidding on it, and someone outbid Jay Leno and
Somebody
bought this
For the
outbid
Duesenberg?
Yeah.
Jay Leno
Yeah.
for the Duesenberg.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So anyway, it was an old car museum. When he sold them all off, we decided. Well, we were kind of. He was talking to us about selling the buildings. What could he do with the buildings? All this and that. And Kaci and I just kind of got a wild hair and came up with this idea to have vendors indoors in Warrenton. Which, if you've ever been out there, it's primarily open air shopping, tents and
Right.
stuff. So we thought, well, we'll corner the market with this, indoor shopping.
Right.
Nobody wanted that, really.
You tried it?
We tried it
for 2 years.
and we had some great vendors, but we had some that were just, I mean,
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
It was
to get-
hard. Yeah. I'll just
Well,
leave it that way.
And for people who aren't familiar with what we're talking about here, we're talking about Round Top.
Yes.
And Round Top is the name of the next town, but it's also the name of kind of the event that's twice a
Yes.
year.
Yes.
And it literally takes up almost the whole county.
Yes.
And it is, I can't even begin to imagine all the vendors. And
Right.
how many booths there are. I mean,
Yeah.
in Warrenton, there's probably 500 booths.
Yeah.
Spread out every field, every building, every parking lot.
Yeah.
Everything turns into somebody selling something.
Right.
Yep.
From cowgirl clothes to jewelry to
A mannequin with 2 right hands.
yes,
Yeah.
my husband bought a mannequin with 2 right hands. It'll be in the show notes. She's still naked, but she's very
Sitting
cute.
in the backyard.
Sits in my backyard on the patio with us every night.
And so this year we went to Round Top to try to find a left hand for the mannequin.
And-
we failed.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
Because they say if you can't find it out there, they didn't make it.
It's
and that's really true. I mean, and you can buy anything. You can buy, there's some shops that have nothing but horns from animals.
All right, let's
And
get back
it
to
just-
the
it is-
Glamp Inn here.
Scary baby parts,
did-
like little
we
doll
did start
parts.
out
Did you
that
see
way.
that one? It's like
I
eyeballs in a
did.
basket. Little,
I did.
Yeah.
And the Elvis shop.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then the 22-foot bunny.
I don't know that I've
You
seen.
didn't see
Yes,
the 22
the Cowgirl
foot.
Junkie.
Yeah,
Or
it's-
Cowgirl Corner.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I lose track.
Yeah.
I lose track, but I mean, it just goes on forever. There's no way to explain this crazy.
Yeah.
So moving on,
So let me say
vendors
one
didn't-
last thing on
Yes.
something that I saw out there that was pretty cool that some of you may not remember, but the Hamburglar on the McDonald's playground where you
That
crawl up
looked
the
like a
tube.
jail?
Yes.
Yes.
They had one of those out there. I'm sure it was loaded with lead paint and all this kind of bad stuff for you now,
But
but I
what
saw
kind
the
of-
Hamburglar. I was like, I want that.
What
I
kind of
know.
person would buy that?
right
well,
behind
yeah.
that in the booth right behind
you
that.
started like me?
Sterling,
It's in my backyard?
It's my new bow stand.
No, it's so creepy.
Well, right,
Okay.
the place next to that sells like hamburgers and food. It's right there where they had that Hamburglar.
Yeah.
I probably had a beer or two, and I tried to buy this flamingo dresser that is just this giant flamingo, and it was made in the 40s. It was all Art Deco.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would only pay 50, and she wanted 75, and
Yeah.
we just couldn't come to terms.
Yeah, you just got to walk away.
It was so crazy.
yeah.
She'll maybe
But it was
be there
right next to
time.
that hamburger because I saw that and thought, who would buy that? Who would buy that?
So back to how we came up with this idea. So we the antique dealers, we kind of struggled with that, and so we literally were worried about losing the place. And so just through some praying and desperation and kind of what could we do and trying to figure things out, we came up with lodging. And I was going to try to build tiny houses inside. But if that idea didn't work, then we've got this building full of tiny houses. We can't sell that.
Right. Then
And
what?
so I think I came up with the idea.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
We went all around. Like, so we were going to do Airstreams. Like, we've met an Airstream guy.
Sure.
He was like, okay, well, but you can only fit a few of those in here because they're humongous. You need, and he was a Louisiana guy, and he was like, you need some canned hams. You need canned hams. I was like, what are you saying? I don't know. Slow down. Spell it. What do you mean? Anyway, so we met.
I'm not hungry, so thank you.
Yeah, we don't
And-
do spam.
Yeah, but we met the canned ham girl, and it was magic.
A lot of things just fell in place, and then we started thinking, well, yeah, we can move these trailers in here, and if the idea doesn't work, then we'd sell the trailers and make 80% of our investment back, and we call it a scrap deal. But anyway, it
Call it a fun
started,
adventure.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
canned
and it
hams.
started to work. and
So you
people-
said you called the canned ham lady?
Yes. Well,
Is that her
Stan
official
knew her.
name?
No, her name is Angela Leachman. She has Glitzy Glamper. She comes to Round Top. So she's been camping in one of the campers that we have now. So she's been coming to Round Top for years. So her and her husband have probably 10 or at the time in their field. And then we were like, okay, you kind of know the look we want. We're in Round Top, so it's got to be funky, crazy. And the first one she gave us was Goldie. It was like the 1958 anyway.
She's an
beautifully
artist
painted.
that like can just get a paintbrush and just start going.
Crazy. It's so.
Is she the one that
cute.
painted all of your
Yeah.
canned hams?
Well, four
of them?
6 of them.
Yeah.
She did several of them, yeah. And the
Oh.
details are crazy.
I guess in my head, you just like bought old ones and put them in there and then decorated them and fixed them up. But you bought them like that.
Yes.
yes.
Did you say, I want this one to be pink and green? I want this one.
No,
or you
we
just
kinda
said,
trusted her.
just do whatever you want, make 'em look
she's-
cool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's so
I
awesome.
want to meet this lady.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's really cool, and her
Yes.
husband's
And so
really
now
great,
she
too.
sets up in the booth, like the pavilion right next door to us. She sells these tank lights. She stays during the show. So we have an ongoing relationship with her. So anyway, she's incredible. She painted our outhouse, which is the Airstream. That's all cowgirly. Did you see
Yes,
it?
yes. Cutest bathrooms
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah. So anyway, we give a lot of credit to her. And then we have we got an old dressing room from Punky's Place. It's super cute. They didn't need it anymore, and so some of the married couple, the vendors that from California, they kind of got into the camping business when we did. So they started
restoring them.
redoing, restoring, and so they have 3 in the building that they've done. So anyway,
And did you
just
buy
kinda-
them from them? Or
Well, those
Yeah.
3
How
are
did that work?
commissioned for. We just kind of have those there, as
Okay.
they're kind of commissioned out. The rest are ours we bought, but those 3 are not. But anyway, that was. And then we have tents. We had 1, and people loved it, and now we have 18 tents.
18 tents. And these
18.
aren't
Well, yeah.
tents.
Yeah.
They're not tents.
No.
Yeah,
These are really super cool glampy yurts.
yes.
16
Right?
foot, big enough to big enough to put 2 twin beds, nightstands, a chair. They're all decorated with unique themes. So
And there's like, it looks like a little yard or like
little area,
a little,
Yeah.
your
Pretend.
area.
Yeah.
So the outside of the campers was painted. Who does the decorating on the inside?
the campers.
Yes.
Those were like the custom fabrics and all of that was done by Angela. She did all of those.
So she decorated the outside and the inside.
and
Right.
Punky's Place. So hers were decorated.
What is
inside and
Punky's
out.
Place?
Punky's
It's
Place is a vendor.
a neighbor of ours. Yeah.
they're
Oh,
she's
okay,
two-
a vendor
she's
next
2
door.
down.
Yes.
Yeah, with those
Okay.
huge historic house. Anyway, she
Yeah, Punky's Place is the place that you like where every room is like a different color and it's like
Oh,
absolutely
man.
bonkers.
That's Punky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
time we need pictures
She's-
of Punky's Place.
I know.
Yes.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
And is she the artist that paints all those things on the wall?
No, her sister.
Her sister is the
yes.
artist.
Sets up with
Uh-huh.
her in there too. Yeah.
Mermaid
I tell ya.
sketches.
It's
So
It's-
creative.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, I tell my buddies because one of the shows is during hunting season and I love to hunt and fish and stuff, and so they always give me a hard time. Sterling's antiquing, and they're all at the deer leash sitting around the campfire, and I'm like, well, I mean, there is a lot of cool guy stuff there too, old petroleum signs, neon, all this
there
kind
is.
of
Oh, I
stuff.
saw so many like pocket knives made
Yeah,
out
old
of
guns
weird
and stuff.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, the demographics probably 90% women, but, there's some cool guy stuff.
Well,
out
and
there,
where we're
too.
located is in the heart of just this huge area of shopping, right? But year round, we thought we were going to just buy this business and be there twice a year, 4 weeks out of the year max. Well, the plan completely switched, and now it's pretty much every weekend that we're down there.
Yeah.
Since we're doing lodging, we're open for retreats and bachelorettes, and I mean every celebration you can think of.
I could imagine. I mean, it is a girls' trip
Yeah.
type place.
Families too. We get a lot of families, a lot of kids.
A reunion, a family
Reunions.
getaway.
Yeah.
I mean, a special birthday. I mean, anything
Yeah.
you could
And
do.
one of the things that we were a little concerned about when we first started it was just, the privacy factor and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but y'all are in the camping industry. It's so cool. Everybody just brings their cooler in, with beer, wine, just like you're camping. I mean, this place is just, I mean, you can bring whatever. I mean, we aren't obviously cooking hot dogs and hamburgers
right.
inside.
There's no fires.
Right,
There's no
right. But I mean, they bring their coolers in and these ladies won't know these other ladies. And by the end of the night, they're sitting together,
They're
drinking
best
wine,
friends.
laughing. Yeah, shopping together the next day. It's really cool.
Because these campers are in rows, just like they would be in a campground. There's lights, strung up, but then there is kind of one or two places where it's like a meeting place.
Common area.
Yeah, and they have tables set up and a little
Couches
kitchen.
Yeah.
Kitchen?
Kitchenette.
Kitchen.
No stove.
But yeah, like, so,
guess.
you know, you can hang out in your camper, but if you sit in the lawn chair outside your camper, you're probably going to find someone to talk to, and then everybody
absolutely.
kind of ends up in the same spot. It's just, it's a genius idea. Why didn't we think of this?
Because we're busy thinking of other things, okay? You know, our head got full.
Podcast. That's
And we didn't have a warehouse in
yes.
Warrenton.
Warrenton, thank
Yeah.
you.
Population 77 people. 77.
77?
people.
There's more
That
cows
place-
than there are people there.
Yeah.
Probably by a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, not even close.
But there is a beautiful campground that we always stay at right down the road. So
Is it
we stay at
Dipples RV Park?
I don't know.
Waldo's.
Dipples?
No, it's on the way. You go
No.
up and you take a left.
Across from the meadery.
Oh, I don't.
No, it's not across from the meadery.
Yes,
The
it
meadery's
is.
the other direction.
No, it's across from the meatery. Promise.
Colorado, is it
Across the
Colorado
highway.
Valley or
Nah.
no?
All right.
Oh, well, Richard will know.
we're getting
Off the track. Off track.
But anyway, we stay down the road. But I thought with this, you have like 3 rooms. I thought you had to rent the whole room.
No.
Well, so we have like 20.
I'll let her- yeah.
It
I'm
is
just a village
complicated,
idiot.
but we kind of had to learn this through a process, right?
Okay.
So we only rent individual units, individual tents and campers for 2, during Antiques Week. Twice a year, or if there's like a wine fest or a big
4th of
event,
July, the winter show, that
Yeah,
kind
and
of
that's
stuff.
just
There's
a
some sort of
handful.
event in
So we
town.
have,
We'll do
like,
individual.
3 areas.
Right.
So it'll have to be a group of 16 or more. 16 in one section, 20 in one, and 20 in one in the other. So you don't have to fill it, but that's how many each area is. And then you have that to yourself. It's private for your
When
group.
you rent it as a group,
yeah, when you
right?
rent it as a
Okay,
group.
I just want to make sure.
Is
that
it cheaper
that
to
was
rent
said.
it as a group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, during Antiques Week, it's more.
More?
Just
Because you can.
because
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
Because it's
you're right
Antiques
in the
Week.
heart of
Antiques
it,
Week.
yeah.
That's kind of a
Yeah.
given. It's more of the year round stuff, which is really where we're trying to.
Trying to beef up
Yeah,
kind of
girls'
the interest
weekends,
in it.
bachelorettes. you
All
know,
right.
kinda-
Well, the next question that comes to mind is, all right, we've rented this. There's just 2 of us. We're staying in the back. Do we come and go as we want
Yes.
to and go out to eat
Yeah.
or
yeah,
how does that
just
work?
like a hotel. You have a key, and you come in the building.
Oh.
Your key lets you in the building. The door locks behind you, so it's just like a hotel, but you're staying in a vintage camper
with a whole
so
bunch
cool.
of people you don't know?
Yeah.
Just like a
But
hotel.
which turns out to be pretty cool because you sit in your lounge chair and have a couple beers and get to
Yeah.
know everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And keep your music down in case somebody at the other end wants to hear something else.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's the only time of the year that it's like a typical campground.
Yeah.
That it's. Is that my phone that's still going
It's right
on?
here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all
It's
right.
okay.
We had one guy, he was probably in his 70s, his wife, and they rented a camper during Antiques Week. And like I said, it's 90% women, but every now and then somebody will screw up and bring a husband, and to shopping with them, But this guy goes to the community shower, gets out of the shower, and he's old school, wears flip-flops, no shirt, and I don't know what the size towel is between a washcloth and a regular towel, but
Size
whatever that
not big
medium-
enough?
Yes, absolutely. And it was just pinched right on his hip.
Ooh.
And his leg was one of his legs, and he's walking down the middle of this, trailer park that
It
we
is.
have
It
set
is
up.
like a runway. I mean,
And the ladies that were sitting out drinking just started hooting and hollering and clapping, and then he got a little strut in his
Oh, my
step, and
goodness.
it was just funny. I was like, "What is
Oh,
going
my
on?" And
goodness.
there's
Exactly
this old
what's
guy, no
supposed to be.
shirt on, flip flops, with a tiny towel, just strutting
A
down the
bigger
middle.
towel.
Of it.
That never
yeah.
happens. Just that happened once.
Well, yeah, it
Just
happened
don't
once,
scare
but it
everybody
was.
away.
well,
Oh,
not
no,
scary.
no.
That's what I mean. It's kind of fun. People,
it's a sense of community
It
living.
definitely
Like,
is. And that's only, like I said, only twice a year during that, the Antiques Week.
I'm selling it.
It's already.
Yeah,
You're hitting 100% of the market because you're like, it's okay, it doesn't happen. You're like, yeah, it does.
It doesn't. And I have to take a little issue because, it isn't a kind of a women's thing at the antiques show, the whatever they call Round Top.
Antiques, yeah.
Because, there are miles of pieces of old rusted
tractor parts
implement
and cars
pieces
that no woman would ever touch.
nothing but my husband keeps trying to buy a phone booth. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants a phone booth.
Yeah.
So if you got a connection, but he's very specific and he doesn't want to pay as much as people are asking.
Yeah.
So that's always the rub. I mean, I love you, dear, but really, apparently the mannequin was on sale. That's all I can say.
Where the mannequin needs a home
Just
inside the phone booth.
I guess.
Oh, you could put a
She's gotta
bunch of
get out of
mannequins
here.
in there like the kids used to do back then. The
It'd be
wacky
like
kids
art.
just cram them full.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, no.
God, we might need a phone booth cram full of mannequins. See, our ideas just kind of...
It just evolves.
You can literally find anything there. It is so bizarre.
And really fun.
Yes, and so there's a lot of guy stuff that is totally not the glampy girl thing that you think of. Because I'm always amazed, and I'm like, who buys this? And then I'm like, look at my husband. I'm like,
he's carrying it around.
That guy.
You're the guy that buys this.
Yeah.
So there's something for everybody. I mean, really something for everybody.
Yeah.
There. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
So much fun. Okay, so during Round Top, you can rent just one trailer.
Yeah.
Can I ask how much?
Yeah.
What's the pricing on a
During Round Top.
glamping on the highest weekend of the year?
Well, I don't know what it is. I mean, like I said,
they're $199 per unit, so it's about
Okay.
$100 a person. But where you're at is you're right in the heart. You can walk.
Yeah, you
y'all
park
been there. Y'all
there.
know.
You have vendors right out the door on the right out the door on the left,
Food
across the
trucks,
street.
live music.
It's literally surrounding you.
location. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like glamping in a warehouse in the middle of a festival.
Yeah.
And
Literally
here's
in the middle of it.
In the middle of
Yeah.
the festival, where there are porta potties everywhere, because we're talking a small town. Everybody's on a septic system, so you're either going to go to a porta potty, or you're going to, if you stay with
Come
us,
back to
you
your
can just
hotel
hang
room.
right back.
Yeah.
And have that bathroom
Yes.
and
It's worth at least
Yeah.
$300-$400 right there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
take a power nap or something.
Yeah, and you have a
you
margarita
need
right
one.
across
Yes.
the street.
It's brutal. It
Yeah.
goes
It
morning
goes
to
on
night.
and on. So
Yeah.
people who go to different places, which there are so many beautiful places to stay, but they're just a little farther out. So then you kind of have to commit to your day of shopping.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to
use a porta potty, so sometimes.
This last year that I went, it was my first year going, and not only do you have to commit to where you're going for the day, but you have to commit to the shoes that you're putting
Yes,
on that
you
day.
do.
And
It
that
is
was my problem.
So funny. I'll see these ladies with their fancy boots on. Like
What
the only
the
place
hell
they'd
you
wear them because they're all
thinking?
embroidered and stuff. The only place they'd wear that is to Round Top.
That's right.
And they're walking, carrying like wagon wheels or something that they bought for their backyard, and they're in these high heel boots, and there's just gravel and rocks and uneven
Mud,
yeah. And I'm just like, gosh, there's a first timer right
to each
there.
your own,
Yeah.
but
Everybody, not everybody, so many people have those little wheeled wired carts.
like the wagons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
wired grocery carts that
Yeah.
people have, so they can fill it up with all their stuff and not have to carry it.
Yeah.
But then they have these awful shoes on
Yeah.
Yes.
that probably cost them hundreds of dollars. And then you get a little sprinkle of rain. These guys are beat up. They're hobbling around.
Yes.
And I see them by 2:00 sitting at a table drinking some type of really fresh and fruity alcohol that they paid way too much for.
That's actually
Sounds like
another
the
thing.
dream.
Because they can't walk any farther.
Yes, well, we have
out.
a mimosa camper that
What?
the same
Yeah.
the lady made Angie.
Angela.
It's out front.
So it's all
out
painted up, and we sell
Oh, that's
mimosas,
right.
beer, and wine out of it. So we got you covered there too.
I was really upset when we were there because it was closed. I knocked on the window and everything.
Yeah.
I think that was early.
Mimosas are kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
It is never too early.
Yes.
early.
For a mimosa.
What are
There's
you thinking?
literally orange juice in it.
We're gonna go ahead and cut that out.
No.
Get out.
Bleep.
So the show is a 2-week thing, and sometimes that last week is the main thing. We get all family, we get as many friends, whoever we can to help us. And that first week, sometimes it's just the two of us managing both properties. 56 women every night. The mimosa
Not a bad
camper.
gig.
The parking situation, because that can become a situation because it's a parking lot, and then it can be overcrowded because we need it to be empty enough for the guests that are coming to check in at 2, so we can't fill it up with shoppers. So anyway, it's a little bit of a managing trick.
It's a whole thing.
In the early weeks.
It's a whole thing. All right,
That's
tell
why.
me about the most angry, difficult customer you've had.
Oh, I got one.
All right, I'm ready.
That was quick.
Don't name
Well,
names.
Yeah.
used to have
No
five-
names.
Yeah, we used to have 5 stars, but I think I knocked us down to 4.8 or something, the way it averaged out. But these ladies came and they had never stayed with us before. And I think one of them had never been to Round Top before. So this lady booked it. They got lost. Because, Casey was saying, it's just typically the two of us. It's not like a hotel where you have someone behind the counter 24/7. So we have check-in times, and
Right.
I think it's up to 7
to
o'clock,
6.
2 to 6. So these ladies got lost. Then they decided to go out and to dinner and then have some drinks. Well, meanwhile, we want to do the same thing. We've been working hard all day. We want to go to dinner. We got to wait for these stragglers to come in, and it's normally great. We have phone conversations with them. Hey, no problem, we'll be back, whatever the case may be. Trying to make this short, but these
they were not
ladies
communicating.
Yeah, not communicating. When they did, Casey sensed a little bit of agitation, and she was like, you're going to deal with these ladies. And I said, okay. I probably complained a little bit, but I eventually said okay.
I don't believe it.
A little pushback,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So these ladies finally get there. We're hungry. We hadn't eaten yet. And they come up, and one of them's like, what is this? I don't know that I want to stay here. And it's not for everybody. We get it,
Yeah.
But I said, well, let me show you around, and I figured I'd sell them. Well, the whole time this one's just like, I don't know about this. I want to see this place. And so I show them, and this one is still like, I don't know if I could stay here. And I just had enough. I said, you know what? Yeah, I don't think y'all should stay here either. And I hit the light in the tent, just turned it off. And the one that kind of knew Round Top, she knew they weren't going to get another room because everything's already booked up.
Yeah,
And
totally
She
out
was
of
kind
luck.
of telling her friend, hey, pump the brakes here. I was like, no, we're done. I was like, this is like a bad blind date. We can either end it now, you're still going to hate me, or we can have dinner and
it's
a
gonna
movie,
blow up.
and you're still going to hate
And
me.
you're
So
still
I'm
gonna
just going to end it now. And they were like, what? And so we go walking back up to where she was sitting. She's like, what's going on? I was like, we're done, and
Well, and that is just, it's just, I don't know, you just kind of have to be, respectful, or think about, like, it's a small business, real people. My kids were there from college and stuff helping us. We're sitting there just waiting.
starving.
Couldn't go, anyway. But now, that was early on, but now we've pretty much established with everybody. They know 2 to 6 is the check-in time, and then they come, and they,
I'm trying to think of some other crazy stuff.
I
You're
did have
trying
one
to
lady.
soften it up, but
I did
we
have
have
one
some
lady.
fun kind of.
Oh no, everybody is fun. Like, it takes a certain kind of person to come.
Well, I mean,
stay with
fun
it.
and
they
crazy.
are
Like,
fun
what are some
and
bad
loyal.
things?
I'm telling you, these ladies are loyal. I have 2023 bookings. They're just like, I have to stay here because
That's
Lindsay,
fun.
we need to get ours in now.
yeah,
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
I know. They just once I get that core group, and I think I do, they're just so loyal and so fun. Nothing phases them. They'll be in a tent next to the loud girls, and they'll wake up and they'll come and check out or whatever, and they're like, oh, we had some loud girls last night, but we came out and we joined them. They gave us a shot
Yeah.
of whatever. Anyway, it's just
Got
we
the
have
second
earplugs in the
wind.
bathroom.
I get some alcohol
Yes.
vibes going here.
Yes, but it's fun. People get to know each other, and everybody's on vacation.
And
So
isn't
it's like-
that how camping should be?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
really,
Whether it's in
isn't
the
that what camping
outdoors
is
or
about?
in the indoors, you get to kind of know your neighbor, where are you from, what are y'all doing, and
Yes.
boom, next thing you know, you're hanging out.
Well, in our Facebook Live last week, we asked everybody, do they go to talk to everybody at the campground, or they go to be by themselves? And I think most people
It was like
said,
85% of people said talk to everybody at the campground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
you-
really true. It's
Yeah.
nice. We have rallies, And it is amazing. There have been lifelong friendships made
Yeah.
because they camp next to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really extraordinary.
It really is.
We had a kind of a upscale lady there one time by herself, or I think she was by herself, and then some other lady from California who was I hope I'm saying this right, but a burlesque dancer.
You nailed it.
I didn't know what that was. I'm like, is it
Sterling.
like...
It's a fancy.
I really didn't.
It's
I
a
swear.
fancy ass stripper.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
and I should have known because you could tell after she said it really what that was. But I wanted to be respectful. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe it was
right.
some sort of ballet. I don't know. But
It's a
they-
dance.
It's kind of ballet.
Yeah.
With less
But anyway,
clothes.
those two, you were the complete opposites, but they kind of became friends, and I think they like booked the same time for a couple of shows,
Yeah.
until they kind of just lost connection or
That's
whatever.
fun.
But yeah, it was.
Isn't
was,
it amazing when people just become people?
Yeah, yeah.
And the cool thing about someplace like your place, or, it's kind of weird to say, but, Round Top, people can go and be someone that they can't be every day.
Yes,
When they go
you're
to work.
absolutely
Come
right.
home, take care of their kids. It is
Oh
a
my
time where
gosh,
you
yeah.
kind of get to check out, put on a petticoat,
buy
wear
band
those
hats.
fancy boots.
Yeah, they buy the band
Yes.
hats and stuff. We've had some girls just be free.
Yes.
We've had a lot of people from California. So we've had these two teachers who come from California. They've never been to Round Top before. They brought every piece of jewelry, every
Yeah.
cute, because
They
you
had
have
like
to
10
over
suitcases.
accessorize no matter what. You have to have. Yeah, they did. I took a picture on my Instagram, but
10
they-
suitcases?
They had a ton of suitcases, and they're
Well, it's
staying in a
dress-up
canned
day.
ham, right?
Yeah.
So they're
I
tiny,
mean, it
tiny
is
things.
dress up day.
It is.
Yes, it is. Every day is. And they were there for 4 or 5 days, and they bought the big band hat because you can custom make those.
Right.
They put it on with all the feathers and stuff, and I just can imagine what they look like on the airplane.
On the airplane?
Yeah.
On the way back home. But
Yeah.
15
they
bracelets.
And they bought stuff that they will never wear again.
But they're coming
Yeah.
again. They
Yeah.
booked again. So
Yeah,
they're like,
because-
they're holding on to all the band hat and everything they bought and the bracelets and the
Yes.
It's
accessories.
fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. I mean, I used to wonder about these people that go to the Renaissance festivals.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Also fun.
these people
Oh,
have
yeah.
lost their mind. But it is a time to kind of just step away,
Yeah.
have fun, be someone else, and put the real world
Yeah.
behind you for
Yes.
just
And
a
man,
day or
that feels
two.
so good.
It
doesn't
does,
You
doesn't
know?
it?
And we
It's
almost
like-
do that every weekend, because we're there almost every weekend with this big crew, a bunch of, we'll probably have, 20 at a time or sometimes 56 at a time.
Oh,
And
my gosh.
We're just trying, this is Round Top. This is the way it is. You dress.
You get to check out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't leave the place, and we're trying to get them to go to the businesses and go see the live music and go to town,
Get
And
out.
sometimes they don't. They just
like
like,
when I
we're
was
here.
Kind of like when I was exhausted and I sat at the bar and I was like, please don't let me
Don't-
go
I don't
walk
wanna
some
go
more.
anywhere else.
Can you give me one more beer? I just want to sit here.
Just put 2 straw bags in front of her.
That's
She'll
right.
never
But
leave.
it's so
Okay.
fun because that gives us a little bit of a break in the middle of all of that stuff. It's just to kind of visit with some folks, hang
Yeah.
out, and just take our mind away from what all the stuff we've got to do.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
details
Run
of
trash and all
Clean
that kind of
toilets,
stuff.
unclog toilets. That's my least favorite.
it all. Well, it's
I will say
everyone's
that.
least favorite, Casey.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I love it.
I look forward to unclogging toilets. So, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah.
What is next for Lone Star Glamp Inn? Because when we were there, you mentioned that second building, you were going to put more trailers in it, expand it, or something like that. Is that second
Has
building?
expanded?
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
building is called, we call it Glamping Cadillac because it used to be a Cadillac museum.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we didn't take away any of the Cadillac memorabilia and all the signs and stuff. It's really, it doesn't go with the glamping thing, but we're just making it go.
Yeah,
and
we
it
don't
has,
care.
yeah, it doesn't
Go with
matter.
it.
Everything
Yeah.
is kind of different there.
It goes with
So-
Round Top.
Yeah, it does. And then we've got 10 10 tents in there, and one that's where the big Airstream restroom is in the Cadillac building. So
And then it has
There's
a
an-
big,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Wait.
What?
But I thought the other building had Airstream restrooms.
it has
Airstream
one.
restrooms.
It has the Shasta in the back.
Oh, it's a
big
Shasta.
Shasta.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
That's
it
what I
was
remember.
blue and white
Because
and-
we didn't see the other building because you said you were still working on it, or you
Well, the
hadn't done it
show's
yet?
in March.
Yeah, y'all have to come back.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, March 13th through April.
Look at your face right now.
I'm gonna keep my eyes open for a phone booth.
Yeah.
Would you?
You
please?
give me a call.
Would you please?
But I'm gonna leave a little bit of a. We might be looking at another location somewhere. I'm just gonna leave that.
Like moving or opening a second one?
Opening
Another
a
one.
second.
Genius.
Well, she's
Yes.
like, we're crazy if just because it's like a 3-ring
The amount of work.
just the two of us doing that, and I've got a day job, and so
Really? What
Well,
is
quit your day job.
at Dell,
Quit doing that.
I'm an engineer.
Nah,
You're an
quit
engineer
doing
at
that.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
yeah, they can't appreciate you as much as.
Is that what you
that's
wear
when
to
you
work?
Talk about checking out. Well, see, we don't have to go into work anymore, so
Okay.
you grow your
Oh, yeah.
beard
I was about
to get
long
real
and your
excited.
hair and no, but I would. I've been there long enough,
Oh,
But,
wow.
yeah, so we're if it works out, I mean, we're looking at different properties and things like that, and we're going to be empty nesters in 6 months, and
Aw.
yeah, I mean, so if some financial things work out, we might do a second.
This is exciting.
I am so excited.
We'll have to come back and let you know.
Definitely.
Here's where it is, or hey, scratch that idea.
We decided.
We'll go
Our
re-edit
marriage
the
can't handle
podcast.
that.
Yeah. Well, I think what we need to do is plan a marketing getaway with our families.
Yes,
for sure.
And then we can do our Friday live from there and maybe a podcast
Yes, that'd be fun.
from the Glamp Inn.
Yes.
And really do this up right.
Yes,
We need to do that
Yeah,
because
that'd be a lot of fun.
yeah, you guys need to become a staple here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say you don't get to make a choice.
Yeah.
You are now
You haven't
part of
seen
our
The Last of
inner
Us.
circle.
No,
You are
no,
stuck
that's
with
fine.
us.
Just instead of a bottle of wine, well, you can have a bottle of wine, but
Tequila?
just a bottle of tequila. You know?
Okay.
Are you a tequila
I'll bring
drinker?
it.
He's a
Yeah.
tequila guy.
Okay, which tequila?
White, yellow, gold. What do you call it? Gold?
The reposado is
Reposado.
yeah, it's kind of there's three
It's gold
that.
looking.
Well, I mean, there's tons of tequilas, but I kind of moved towards silver, so the clear.
Okay.
Wow.
And there's some
Lots
that-
of famous people are making tequila now.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite famous person tequila?
No.
No.
I just the one I like is actually kind of middle to maybe bottom shelf, but it's
Okay.
called Cazadores, and I think it means hunter in Spanish.
That's why I likes it. It's got a deer on
Yeah,
the
it's got
front.
a deer head
It's got
on
a
the
deer on
I'm
the
a
front.
front.
sucker for marketing, especially in the liquor store.
Yeah.
You just walk down and you're like,
It's got a deer on the label.
Yeah,
so he's
deer
like,
head. I'll take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so
yeah.
funny.
it's true.
Sometimes it gives me a headache, but most time it doesn't.
Well, I was going to write it down, but then I realized
No.
we're recording this.
Yeah,
so
I'll bring it. I'll bring it.
All right, next time you bring the tequila, we'll bring something to
maybe
with the
some better
tequila.
wine because this stuff's.
This is pretty terrible. What is it we're drinking?
I don't
Nancy?
know. I'm trying to drink
Oh.
it quickly.
You guys, I just can't thank you enough. This is so fun. I don't know how it took us so long to get to know you.
Well, I can tell you how.
and get you here. Yeah, you were the one
Casey and
trying
I were
to make
having
appointments.
trouble.
we were having a little trouble.
Well, I think we got COVID one time.
And then my family had COVID,
Yeah.
and then you had something you had to do, and then we had to cancel because we had something else that we had to do. We've literally been trying to do this for like
month,
3
too.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least.
Well, life is busy, so we need to make time for
Yes. Yeah.
hanging out and being friends.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, absolutely.
And we should catch us right after
putting
the
a line
show.
in the sand.
Yeah, because then you'll have all the stories.
We'll have
Yes.
fun stories.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll be exhausted. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So the large bottle of tequila.
yeah, a large bottle of tequila, a lot of stories, and maybe we'll have a brand new studio that we can actually record in.
Let me give you a second to give your location a plug.
Plug.
So plug away. Tell her how people can reach you, where they can find you, what they might be thinking of when they call you. Come on, Casey.
Yeah,
you're
it
on.
probably should be me because I don't
Yes.
even know he.
Probably should be.
I know our address.
You don't know our website. What is it?
Sterling
Well, I
knows
kinda
the
know our
address.
Okay, so
website.
it's
I'm-
LoneStarGlampInn.com.
knew
That's
that.
did you know that?
I knew that.
It's LoneStarGlampInn.com. Yeah, Instagram. There's a lot of pictures. We're Glampin TX on Instagram.
Glamp Inn
TX
TX.
Instagram. Facebook or Lone Star Glamp Inn. But anyway, so there's a lot more pictures and everything. So we can.
And I did find a video on YouTube that was pretty cool in it.
Yeah.
If you just search Lone Star Glamp Inn, a video comes up, some kind of news story, but it does give you like video footage of what the inside looks like
Yes.
to get an idea. And we're going to put all of that in our show notes at rvsmalltalk.com. So if you... We'll link to all your things.
Awesome.
Yes, and so during each Antiques Week, like if you don't come and you don't stay, but you go to Round Top for the biannual deal, you can come in from 12 to 2 and do a little walkthrough.
Good little
we
tour.
do little just
Okay.
to see
Just to see it.
in person
From 12 to 2.
12 to 2 every
Because
day.
it's just different in
It is
person than it is in
different.
pictures.
It's a hard pitch, like that whole 30-second elevator pitch. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so you
it's
gotta-
not in
you
30
have to see
seconds.
it.
You gotta
Yeah.
have to see it.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Okay.
And we'll talk about this, but I'm going to throw it out there because we're being recorded. Clint will probably cut this. But what if we picked like 3 days where we got all of our friends to come stay at the Glamp Inn?
Yes.
That
And
would
we could
be
just
awesome.
have our own party with all of our camper friends,
Yes.
all of our glamping friends,
Yeah.
and Princess Craft could have a Glamp Inn event.
Yes.
That would be so cool.
That would be so
effort.
cool.
cool.
You don't
Yeah.
have to come park your trailer, unhook it, hook it, nothing. You just come.
Yeah, just stay
Let's
in ours.
let's just come have fun
Yeah.
at the Glamp Inn.
Yeah.
And now you could, if you want to do it like during the show, the dates are kind of starting to fill up, but pre-show is a good time because there's still vendors out there and we probably have some availability.
No,
I
we
don't
should
know.
not do it during the show. We
Okay,
should
well, if you
do
don't,
it another time.
There's
that
a lot
way.
of cool stuff. Like great restaurants that are still open, bars.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
you'll
There's
help us
stuff
figure out where
year-round.
all those are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost more fun year round because you can go in to every restaurant. You can sit down. During Antiques Week,
yeah,
it's
it's not
tough.
so
It's not so
It's
crazy.
hard.
Yeah.
It's not.
And if the
crazy at
four of
all.
us are
It's
there,
fun.
isn't that all the fun you need?
It is.
And a bottle of tequila?
Yes.
Sometimes,
and
yeah.
a very small
Yeah.
towel.
And a little cowbell. They do it.
Cowbell. Yeah. I mean,
small
you know,
Some
but
flip-flops.
please bring a bigger towel.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say.
Beach towels.
I want a big towel, all right? No
Clint.
strutting. Our schedule gets pretty packed, but I think
that'd
we ought
be
to
awesome.
fit that in there.
I mean,
Wouldn't that
even
be
if
fun?
it's just a day, 2 days, whatever. I mean, I'd love to have you for 3, but if
I'd love to have you
let's
for
do it.
7, but
Yes, yeah.
I don't know that we could swing it, but
Yeah.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
We can do it.
Let's do
All
it.
right, it's a plan
Okay.
All right.
on the schedule.
So that's LoneStarGlampIn.com.
Mm-hmm.
I know the website too, Sterling.
Yes. That makes
Just saying.
makes
Step it up.
three
Just
of us.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you guys again for coming to talk
Thanks
to
for
us.
having us. This was
I'm
fun.
so glad we finally got to do it.
Yes. What do I say now, Clint?
You're great.
You can find us on Facebook at RV Small Talk or our RV Small Talk community page. And if you join us there, you can share your camping stories, your questions. It's really our place to answer questions or talk about all things camping. Don't forget to like and subscribe, review, and rate our podcast, especially on Apple Podcasts. It really helps show the podcast to new listeners so we can grow. Show notes can be found at rvsmalltalk.com. And that's a wrap. Thanks, Clint. Bye, guys.